Now I would like to present to you an elegantly simple but profoundly powerful way to negotiate interacting with people from your heart. It's an actual biological truth that we have a magnetic field that arranges out of the heart, goes around and comes back into the heart again. There are two actually, there's one closer one and then a much broader one. But what we're teaching now is simply that when you choose to breathe, beginning in the heart, as you breathe in, see the energies radiating up beyond your arm's length. As you breathe out, coming back midway, and the fast of exhaustion of the breath, coming back in through the perineum and back to the heart again. Simply breathing in love, radiating it around, breathing back in to start again. And this field goes in front of you, behind you, either side, and everywhere in between. So when you consciously breathe with your heart at the center, you are magnifying that heart energy field, so that when you are in the company of people, you can do it just as you get out of the car before you go to work. Maybe you've got a difficult work situation. There's some particular issue that people have got opposing points of view on. Rather than going in and arguing, you get your toroidal breath going beforehand and then go in and watch magic happen. I had a situation with another volunteer at an organisation I give energy to, and this woman was in great fear because she'd been asked to do something by me that she didn't know how to do. So she went very angry at me rather than admitting her own fear. So when I heard about that from other colleagues, I didn't go and argue with her. I just got my toroidal breath going, and when it was a quiet time at this place, I sat next to her, and she was therefore inside my toroidal breath field. And so she began speaking loudly and strongly, and I just nodded and kept breathing the toroidal breath. And then she went from dear to less, to less, to less, to saying, so this is as much as I'm prepared to do. And I said, okay, great, that sounds good. We can work with that. And walked away. There was no raised voices on my part. There was no pushing how you should do it. I simply allowed her to feel safe inside my non-judgmental, heart-derived love envelope so that she could lower her defences and admit, in effect, by saying, this is what I'm prepared to do. Not that and that which we really needed for our organisation, but it's fair enough to ask somebody else who feels competent to do those tasks. It works in your partnership relationship. It works in all manner of situations. And you can do it simply as a meditation for yourself. Sitting quietly, eyes closed, breathing slowly, seeing the breath rise up and around and back in again. You can even enhance it, as was taught to me by a crystalline being. You do 3 breaths of seeing white light entering the crown, coming in behind the eyes, coming in through the throat to just above the heart. The next 3 breaths, the violet flame enters the base chakra, then up into the belly, then up into the solar plexus. The last 3 breaths, you actually visualize your heart expanding wider and wider and wider in your chest. And by breath 10 and onwards, you simply understand, believe, trust, visualize, feel, whatever works for you, that you have enhanced your toroidal breath energy field so that you are walking around your life in a bubble of love. So elegant, so simple, and yet so gracefully powerful. Thank you.